What's up YouTube, it's your boy Infinite Gains. We're back with the GME and AMC update video, so let's lock in. This is gonna have to be a super quick update video because I have stuff to do and I've been so busy all day, but we're gonna get this in super quick. So let's kind of recap GME macro, right? So price breaks the point of control, right, initially in 2021 or 2020 to 2021, which was 125. And so kind of that same point for us was breaking that 200 SMA, right? So the 200 simple moving average. Once price broke that, above that in the May move, we started making higher lows, which, I believe would be this consolidation pattern, right? So initially in 2021 or 2020, you break the 200 SMA, right? You break it through this formation, right? You create this downtrend in price. Price breaks above the daily 200 SMA, starts consolidating in this higher low pattern, right? It's kind of the same pattern that occurs. We have May move, right? May move pushes us above the 200 SMA. Price comes back down and then creates higher lows in the same consolidation pattern. Now, why does it look different? It just is, right? It just is the case, right? I think people were pointing to this as being this equivalent when I don't believe so. I think because using the daily 200 SMA as kind of like this base, this right here should be this consolidation pattern before the big move, right? So price is consolidating in a range, right? Because I think a lot of people were pointing to this kind of this slow os, right, where we slowly go up like this, and then we boom, is that possible? I mean, maybe, but I think this this equivalent of consolidation has already occurred here in this range. And so I think the next move should be pretty violent. I mean, I think that if you break May high, you're going to test all-time highs, and then once all-time highs is broken, then it's going to be super violent. So I think that this equivalent, right, so you have this downtrend in price, you have this downtrend in price. This right here is the equivalent of May move, right? So this is the equivalent of May move. You have your downtrend, a breakout of the downtrend. Then you have a consolidation pattern, and then you have the freaking mega candle, the mega green dildo candle, right? So this is the equivalent, right? So I think that's what we're waiting on at this point. We're literally just waiting on the green candle to take us higher. And it's I hope that kind of makes sense, is that you have a downtrend, you break your point of control, we broke the daily 200, and so what are we battling right now actually? Let's just forget the 2020. What are we battling right now, right? So if we zoom in to our recent price history, recent price action, we are battling currently 28.27. What is 28.27? That's your value area high right here. 28.27 is your weekly value area high. So this is your weekly top of your volume range, right? So this is the top of your volume range on a weekly time frame. That's huge, which is why last week I wanted to close above 28.27. I wanted to close above it, but we got pushed down slightly because we hit resistance on our trend line here. So we hit a little bit of resistance, but it's fine because we have an opportunity to push through this level next week. Next week has to be big, man, because you have a lot of momentum going for us and it can't die, right? That momentum can't die. I mean, I just would not want to see it play out like that. I just want to see us push this level. Let's go to our 4 hour, right? So let's zoom in here. So point of control at 24.50, right? So we've been consolidating in this kind of flag pattern here on our 4 hour chart. I mean, that's kind of really simple to see. Honestly, if we can take this channel off our chart. So we've been kind of consolidating in this kind of flag pattern, which, it is similar to the flag pattern of May. And GME kind of likes to make these patterns where the flag, typically a bull flag would actually be in a downward fashion, right? So you'd actually get your move up, then your flag would be downwards like this, and then you'd have a break, right? That's your typical kind of bull flag. But If we look at GME price history, I mean, we're making the same kind of patterns throughout. You can find multiple flags that, you know, are in an uptrend, and then specifically this flag as well. Oh, I messed that up on accident. If we look at the flag before the 2021 move, right, this flag is actually in an uptrend. So you actually flag in an uptrend pre-2021 move. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting that, you know, GME kind of likes that similar price action where it kind of flags, but in that upwards fashion. So that is pretty interesting as well, because it does it multiple times throughout price history. It does it in May, and then it's now doing it now. So what do we want to see? We want to see, I mean, legitimately just a clean break, and it's kind of that simple. Let's go down to the daily on this chart. So yeah, we hit that, you know, initial fair value gap, right, as resistance on our daily chart, and then we're kind of right under that fair value gap on our daily chart. You know, price could come back down and even test this 2605 as support. So 2605 would be your next level of support if price comes down. Preferably on this next daily, we kind of just rock it out of here, man. Like, you know, I'm kind of fine, you know, completing that full flag pattern, you know, and then coming up out of it like this and having it, you know, really symmetrical, cool looking flag, and then still maintaining the higher low. That's really what I want to maintain, is that higher low on the daily time frame, is we want to maintain that. So, you know, we'll see what price action does, but, you know, this, I mean, really going into tomorrow, it could be extremely interesting. Pretty much right now, we want to break that weekly level of that 28.27 on our daily chart. Our next resistance is going to be 34.10. So essentially, what we're looking for is 28.27 broken, 31.40, which is on that 4-hour chart, or now it's sitting at 30.80. So 30.80 after 28.27 is going to be your next level on the daily, or on the 4-hour chart, and then on your daily chart, it's going to be 34.10. So kind of around that $30 to $34 range is going to be our next kind of resistance, which is also our weekly resistance of our channels, you know, that we've kind of gone over multiple times here. Let me go to the weekly. You know, as you can see, we trade in both channels that we trade in are uptrend channels, but, you know, the way that they work as resistance and support is a little bit different. But yeah, our next kind of resistance zone will be at that 34.10 level. You might find some, you know, resistance up here, you know, which was resistance in that second May impulsive move, all the way at, you know, 48 to, you know, $49. I'm pretty certain once you see that $50 range broken, like, you know, things are gonna go crazy. There's nothing gonna be stopping this thing. It's gonna be kind of, you know, free flying, you know, at that point. But I mean, you're gonna see, you know, resistance at, you know, that 34.10, you know, possibly at 36. But kind of once this channel range is broken, I mean, this shit's flying. And so, you know, it's good to see that, you know, let's look at our volume analysis as well. You know, we saw multiple volume spikes. We're seeing volume returning. You know, we saw a pretty big volume spike whenever we tested that almost $30 level. So we came close to $30 and then kind of got pushed back down, which is perfectly fine, right? We're taking down sell orders, right? Prices coming up, you know, we're coming back down, but maintaining a higher low. We're consolidating. We're seeing more volume come in, you know, extremely good things to see. So that's our next idea. That's our next resistance zone. But like, we really just have to take advantage of the opportunity that we have right now. Like, we have an insane setup going for us to rocket the fuck out of here. Like we have this is a fucking amazing setup, bro. Like, this is amazing. You broke your point of control at 24.50. You're consolidating in a flag with an uptrend, like May move, like 2021 move. Like, you have a crazy freaking setup here. You're seeing volume come back. You're seeing, you know, implied volatility rise. And so, like, you have a really, really good setup here. You know, am I fine with us? You know, we were talking about that daily coming back to that 2605. You know, I'm fine with that. You know, I'm possibly fine coming back to the 2605 level as support, and that should hold. But really, you don't even have to, man. Like, you could just rock it out of here. Seriously, I mean, you could gap up. You could gap up Monday and rock it out of this bitch. But you have to break 28.27, you have to break 30.80, and then 34.10. Those are your next three resistance points. Next three resistance. All right, so let's go ahead and look at AMC. Same thing, we're seeing volume returning. We're seeing this really nice consolidation pattern because price has been in an uptrend riding the bottom of this channel that we've been talking about. It's just been kind of riding it up. And you can see that price pre-May likes to make this downtrend. Once this downtrend was broken, we saw that huge spike in May. Now we're creating another downtrend. I mean, it's really simple. As soon as this downtrend is broken, right? I mean, you're going to shoot up. You're going to shoot up like crazy. And this happened in 2021, right? Because we have two downtrends here, right? Price makes a downtrend like this. Price spikes up. Price makes another downtrend. When price finally breaks that, then you have your whole 2021 move, right? And so it's essentially the same pattern as pre-initial 2021 move here in January, right? So that January move is the equivalent of the move that's about to happen, because I want you to see this shit. All right, this is your downtrend, right? You have this downtrend. Let me turn off the magnet tool. This is your downtrend, right? This is your macro downtrend. Pre-2021 is your macro downtrend, this simple trend line. Price makes this downtrend, spikes up, makes another downtrend. Once this macro downtrend, you have your 2021 move in two parts. And it's essentially the same thing that AMC is doing here. It just looks different, right? You have this initial downtrend, a spike in May. You create another downtrend. Once this downtrend is broken, and then you break your macro downtrend here, you are going to the freaking moon. So what are next resistant levels for AMC? We have on our daily point of control 475, and then on our 4 hour should be around $5. So point of control on our 4 hours is $5. So we have to clear this downtrend, point of control at $5, and then 562, and then you should be seeing some really, really great price action. And so kind of, next targets are up to that, 1693 zone. And then once this 3-year long macro downtrend is broken, then these prices are unlocked, all the way to the hundreds of dollars. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it freaking sounds crazy. But once you break this downtrend, I mean, you unlock these really crazy price levels. So, I think that we covered, we covered GME, AMC. We'll go over cost kind of here very, very quickly. Cost is super, super easy. It's just trading in this triangle, right? It's just literally just trading in this triangle. It hit resistance right at the top of the trend, and price is coming back into support. Oh, let me actually put that back on. Price is coming back into support here, and so really our goal is to, you have support all the way down to 680, and then our fib zone at 659. Our next resistance once this triangle is broken is 927 and 1132. And then that's once 1132 is broken, I mean, you should essentially be going to the moon. It's essentially just a repeat of 2021 as well, or 2020 to 2021 as well. I mean, it's just two consolidation patterns right before the huge move. And so cost is just super, super simple. This chart is insane. I mean, this is a 14,000% increase. You have this perfect retracement to the 0.786, and then you have two consolidation patterns before a huge move up. So I would not sleep on cost. That stock is freaking crazy, man. Like it really is. But that's everything that we're looking at right now, man. Like this Monday could be really, really good for us. We just need to see a gap up and then break those 3 levels before we can kind of unlock higher price action on our weekly chart. But yeah, so that's everything. Let's see what next week brings us, and see what we can do. And yeah, another thing I kind of wanted to point out is that on the 4-hour chart, let's go back to the daily. So on the daily chart, if we look at the May move, and this is your point of control in May. Price makes this kind of U-shaped pattern, right? And then flags right above that point of control with your fair value gap as a resistance. So price breaks, makes a U-shape, and what do we see here? Price literally is making a U-shape, breaks the point of control, and then flags right under the fair value gap. It's the same shit as May. You make this U-shape, you break your point of control and flag right under your fair value gap as resistance. So it's the same setup as May, and I hate saying that because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make that much sense, like fractally, you know, saying that this price action is the equivalent of this, because it's not necessarily true. But I mean, it's the same setup. It's literally the same setup. Like, you make a U shape, you break your point of control, and then you flag right under the fair value gap. Like, it's insane. It's actually insane. It's literally the same setup. So again, break that 34.10. Break that 34.10 level and shit's going to get real. Alright guys, that's the whole video. It was kind of a short one. I just had I was busy. I'm about to go to the gym and hit a nasty workout here, boys. But I'll see you guys Monday, and we'll see what Monday brings us, see what next week brings us. And happy Thanksgiving. Go out with your family, man. Enjoy it, and you know, take the day off from the stock market. But you know, we'll be back Friday, and man, I hope this is it, man, because we've been waiting for a minute. We've been waiting on this for a minute, man. But you know, the setup is there, and you know, everything looks good, and let's just take advantage of it. So, all right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.